Hello, everyone. Welcome to our channel. They say old train stations never really die. The tracks might rust, the timetables may vanish, but something about them lingers. There's an abandoned Amtrak station just outside my town. Everyone knows it. A boarded-up relic from the 1970s, standing at the edge of the freight yard, swallowed by weeds and silence. Most people drive past without a second glance, but if you happen to walk by at midnight, sometimes the silence breaks. Sometimes you hear the last call. I'm not the kind of person who goes looking for ghosts. I work late shifts, and the walk home takes me right past the old station. At first, it was just another piece of forgotten architecture, another skeleton of American travel left behind by time. But one night, around 12:15 a.m., I heard something that stopped me in my tracks. The loudspeaker, that dry, crackling buzz of an old PA system, and then, clear as day, "Attention passengers, last call for boarding. All aboard." All aboard. I froze. The place hadn't had electricity for decades. The windows were dark, the doors chained shut. And yet, the voice echoed across the empty lot like it had never stopped. I told myself it was a trick of the wind, maybe a leftover speaker connected to some nearby radio. But the next night, I heard it again. This time, I decided to get closer. The chain on the front doors was loose, like someone had cut it long ago. With a bit of force, I slipped inside. Dust blanketed the floor. Rows of cracked wooden benches lined the waiting hall. The ticket counter was empty, windows smashed, ceiling sagging with age. And yet, as I stood there, the air was heavy, like dozens of eyes were watching me. That's when the PA buzzed again. Final boarding. Train departing in 5 minutes. I swear. For just a moment, I saw movement. Figures, people, sitting on the benches. But when I blinked, the seats were empty I should have left. Every nerve in my body screamed at me to run. But something about the voice drew me deeper. I walked down the corridor, my footsteps echoing against cracked tile, until I reached the platform doors. The second I pushed them open, a low rumble shook the ground beneath me. I looked down the tracks. Headlights were cutting through the night, but not from any modern Amtrak. The train that rolled in was an ancient steam locomotive, black metal shining faintly under the moonlight. Its windows glowed pale yellow. Smoke billowed out, but it didn't smell like coal, just a cold metallic tang that burned my nose. The train screeched to a halt, brakes screaming, and the doors slid open with a hiss. At first, I thought it was empty, but then I saw them. Rows of passengers, sitting perfectly still. Men in suits, women in dresses, children with little suitcases. They didn't move, they didn't blink. They just stared ahead, hands folded neatly in their laps.
No sound, no chatter, not even breathing. And then, from the front of the car, a figure stepped out. The conductor. Tall, thin, dressed in an old-fashioned uniform, cap pulled low. He moved with a stiffness, like his joints weren't quite right. When he looked at me, my blood froze, because where his face should have been, there was nothing. Just smooth, pale skin stretched across bone. He raised his hand and spoke in a hollow, booming voice that rattled the station. "Ticket." My mouth went dry. I shook my head. I don't have one." The faceless conductor tilted his head. The crowd of passengers turned, in perfect unison, and fixed their empty eyes on me. A single voice, dozens of voices at once, echoed through the train car. "All aboard." I stumbled backward, heart hammering. The ground shook again as the whistle screamed, a sound so sharp it felt like it split my skull in two. The lights flickered. The smoke thickened. The faceless conductor reached out a gloved hand. Closer, closer, like he was about to grab me. And then, the train vanished. The smoke, the light, the sound, all gone in an instant. I was alone, standing on the cracked platform, the night air dead silent. Not even the crickets dared to sing. When I looked down at the ground where the train had stopped, there was only rusted track, half buried in weeds. But my hand was trembling, and when I looked down, clutched tight in my fist was a small, faded rectangle. A ticket stub. I ran that night. I don't remember how I made it home, but ever since I can't sleep. Every night at 12:15, I hear the faint echo of the PA system outside my window. Attention passengers, last call for boarding. I've stopped walking past the station. I've stopped telling myself it was a dream. Because deep down, I know the truth. That train is waiting for me. And one night soon, when a last call comes, I won't be able to resist. And this time, I'll have a ticket. Don't forget to subscribe our channel.